Hello, this is a guide on my Varunastra CI Blade Flurry build, and so the character is Nothing is Working for Me, level 93, and tooltip DPS on the Blade Flurry is 4k right now. So, let me explain what a Varunastra does. A Varunastra is a one-handed sword that counts as all melee weapon types. So you can use Earthquake with this sword, you can use Reave, you can use Lacerate, any skill basically that has to do with melee weapons. So for my build, I decided to go with Blade Flurry just because I like it more than Spectral Throw and Earthquake, which were the other two contenders for skills. And let me go over the passive skill tree. So leveling this build was really easy because you can start life based by grabbing the fizz damage here, just going over here, coming towards like I think I went around here, yeah. I came, or over here, yeah. You come over here, grab the life over here, and then you can grab dagger or claws. I think I used claws and leveled with the Mortem Morsu until I could equip my Varunastra. So while you're leveling this character, you really want to focus on grabbing a bunch of these one-handed damage, one-handed like just weapon nodes, right? Like here's a dagger node, claw node, claw node, claw node, stuff like that all around the tree. But the best and the biggest improvement to your DPS when using a Varunastra is this cluster over here, because this is 36% fizz, 75% crit chance. This is 72% fizz, and then 12% attack speed per node here. So that's ridiculous. Like, that's an insane amount of damage, and like a lot of your DPS is coming from this little node over here, or this like little cluster. So, and then since you are going CI, I think it's very hard to push 100, which was my initial goal with this character as a life-based build these days. So I just went CI because CI is great. And you just need one AoE cluster. For this build to feel really smooth, you do need a Dying Sun, which I'll talk about later. But yeah, just energy shield nodes, Flask effective nodes, because those are broken. Grab this over here, Druidic Right, and then yeah, everything else is really basic. You just go with what you're lacking. If your build is lacking crit chance, you want to grab some crit strike chance nodes. If your build is lacking energy shield, you want to grab energy shield nodes. You have to really balance damage with defenses to push higher maps, or not higher maps, higher levels. So here's the ascendancy. It's an assassin because Varunastra actually has a very low base crit chance. It's only 5%, and that is absolute garbage for a weapon. So that's why we go Assassin for Deadly Infusion, which adds an additional crit strike chance per power charge, and we grab power charge here, power charge here. The Templar one's not worth it. The pathing over there, it's not worth it at all. I mean, you could argue the area node, but it's still garbage compared to coming over to this side of the tree. So, yeah, basically this is a basic poison fizz based type of character thing. But what is very important that I want to emphasize for the a Varunastra, not only does it have shitty base crit chance, but it has shitty attack speed, base attack speed. So to make this build feel really good, we're solving the crit strike chance problem through Assassin, and your attack speed is going to have to come from all your jewels. So right here I have 12%, also have to cover resistances, so that's why there's resistances on this jewel. This is 18% attack speed. This is another 16% attack speed. And then yeah, right here, here's another 6% attack speed. I'm like comfortable with how fast I'm moving around at this point, and I really think that grabbing more attack speed would be a waste. Initially, I had this node over here, Art of the Gladiator, because I was using shield charge, and the ignore all movement penalties from armor actually increases your move speed by a lot, and then the 12% increase attack speed. But I dropped 3 node or 3 points in order to grab an extra jewel, and then path towards influence, just so that I can have a stronger Herald of Ash and discipline. And yeah, so that's basically it for the passive skill tree and jewels. I can't emphasize how important jewels are, because you will really need, if you don't have the jewels. Here's my whirling blade with the jewels, and then let me just take them out real quick. You will see a huge difference in how fast the build is. So this is your whirling blades without the jewels. Like, it is at least half the speed of what I was whirling blading at with these foreigns. So I really strongly recommend covering most of your attack speed with your jewels. So here's the gem links I have in my Varunastra: faster attacks, fortify, whirling blades. It's easy to get these colors on your Varunastra, so go for shield charge if you like it, and make sure to get what's it called, Art of the Gladiator over here if you are, because you're gonna be really slow unless if you get move speed. You have some GG move speed boots, but in reality you would really want some Skyforts. So faster attacks, fortify, whirling blades, or shield charge, faster attacks, fortify, whichever one you prefer. You got cast when damage taken, Vol lightning trap, summon ice golem, immortal call. This is more of like a immortal call ice golem. I really think that like in higher maps, your ice golem dies way too fast for it to be even worth it to have a higher leveled one. I'd rather have a lower level one that just automatically summons. And Vol lightning traps for bosses mostly. This is important. Spell totem with faster casting and wither. This basically gives you like crazy amount of DPS, since you do get an insane amount of DPS of chaos from this, which is 20%, and then you get another 25% chaos, and then your poison does chaos. It's like crazy amount of double dipping, you know, the usual assassin fizz chaos build that you have. I used, up until around level 90ish, I used Herald of Ice with Curse on Hit with Assassin's Mark, but I found that, and Enlighten, you do need 2 Enlightens, level 3 for this build, because even with these notes, these aura reduced mana reserve nodes, it's still going to be a lot of mana that you're reserving. So I did run that, but after continuing to map, I found that like Unstable Infusion actually is able to manage to keep my power charges at maximum most of the time. So I just wanted more damage to push, like just to push my clear speed a little more, and I found Herald of Ash to be a little more better in a sense, although it's a little uglier than the Gloom Herald of Ice, but gotta make sacrifices somewhere. I just got a portal gem here just because I don't want to use portal scrolls anymore. You got Blasphemy, Enlightened Discipline with Vulnerability. Vulnerability double dips on your Fizz damage and your Chaos damage once again. So yeah. So obviously for this build you're going to need a Varunastra. I really recommend using a Void Heart if you can get a Legacy one, since it is Legacy League right now. It will increase your DPS by like a lot. I'm pretty sure like it'll push it to insane amounts, even though it may not seem like a lot, since this plus the assassin node over here, that's 30%, and then like the whatever assassin, I can't do the math right now, but you get a lot of poison and it might be overkill. But a Legacy Void Heart is probably what will push this build to like Shaper, blah blah blah. I'm pretty sure I can do Shaper and stuff right now, but I just can't be bothered to do it because I'm farming Shape Strands for level 100. This is a Blade Flurry Enchant Helm. So an important thing to talk about is Abyssus versus a Blade Flurry Enchant Helm. So initially I started with an Abyssus, but Abyssus, you die a lot with it. It's so much damage taken. 47 increase. The lowest roll it can get is 40% increase Fizz damage taken. But even that, like, And then on top of that, it has no accuracy. It does have crazy crit strike multiplier and fizz damage, but if you're trying to push for higher levels, I would recommend getting a Blade Flurry damage because this Helm enchant actually double dips with your poison. And this particular helmet that I got is very insane. 427 accuracy rating, which is like comparable to like a Crown of Eyes basically, and it's actually like 200 more than a Crown of Eyes or something. So, and then some resist and energy shield. So this is, I would rather prefer to be tanky and double dip my damage than do a lot more damage but be at risk for losing like an hour's worth of progress. And then I guess ideally if you want to get like the most insane amount of damage, you can get 40% increased Blade Flurry damage on an Abyssus and just increase like a 900 ES Regalia. This is 800 ES. And then like a 600 ES shield, something like that, and then some crazy boots and crazy gloves. But right now I'm just trying to keep the budget low for my rares because I feel like the resale value is very it depends on the buyer. The buyer is who basically determines the price, not the seller most of the time, in my opinion, but don't roast me for that. So shield, you just want high ES on this, nothing else. A couple of resists would be nice, but this is 522 ES. Not bad, not that great. I guess it is pretty good, but I paid like 2 exalts for this, and then 2 exalts for this. 6 linked, if you don't have a 6 link, I would probably drop increased crit damage, but if you're going for a build like with this type of budget, it probably shouldn't be that bad. Oh, I think I forgot to go over. So melee damage on full life, Blade Flurry, increased crit damage, faster attacks, increase area of effect, and melee fizz damage. So increased crit damage is a huge multiplier. Like, it increases your clear speed by so much because you literally one-shot everything with this, and the assassin deadly infusion that increases your crit chance to like around 70%, and with the diamond flask that's like almost 99% crit chance. And then I used to run added chaos, but faster attacks is so much better because I think Blade Flurry has a more attack speed multiplier, and then so if you increase it by 54 and then you get 60% more, you get so much attack speed. It's actually ridiculous. Like if I click this, like my character just goes like ham, bro. Look at this. Okay. So the links once again: melee fizz, increase area, faster attacks, increase crit damage, Blade Flurry, melee damage on full life. You can switch this for conk effect on bosses. For your jewelry, this is where you kind of fill in your resistances. These this one, you kind of need a Valerium unless if you have Skyforce, or you can run an Eye of Chiula. But I have an insane amulet that I ID'd at the start of the league, and I'm just going to continue to use this on every single fizz based ES build basically, or sell it for like a couple exalts. But yeah, Valerium is pretty much how I solve my stun problem, and then with the addition to 50% chance to avoid being stunned if you killed recently. I bought these boots for like 10 chaos. They're super cheap. This belt is just okay. This build is actually super duper strength thirsty, which is why I can't use a crystal belt because I can't find one that has these resists, the crazy amount of energy shield, and 44 strength. The increased elemental damage with weapons was just crafted on there. I bought it like this. I can scour and add whatever I want, but with this belt off, I'm at 84 strength, and I still need like 20 more strength in order to just play the build. And if you're using Abyssus, you need even more. Like, it's pretty insane. So yeah, you need a lot of strength in this build, or on your belt. It's pretty much the only slot, unless if you're planning to put it on your amulet or your second ring slot instead of using a Valerium and using once again Skyforce, or you can even use a Kiara's, but I think Kiara's isn't that great. So that's pretty much it for the gear. Attack speed, these are pretty shit gloves. You don't even need the accuracy. That amount of accuracy pretty much does nothing. And then we have the Flask. So Dying Sun is the best quality of life flask that you can use. I played with the Dying Sun without a Dying Sun from levels like all the way through until around level 91, where I picked one up just because like this one Blade Flurry guy was like, oh, how's your like AoE and stuff, and I was like, oh shit, like it's complete garbage, and he's like, use a Dying Sun, and I picked one up and it's fucking crazy. Like you'll see in the map, I'll actually start it without using a Dying Sun. So here's an Atziri's Promise. This is pretty much like the best Flask in my opinion. It gives you so much leech in this build, and 25% of physical damage as extra chaos damage, which is basically 25% more chaos damage or added type of thing. So I don't know, best Flask for this build, cheapest one too. So Lion's Roar, it's basically a 7th link to your Blade Flurry. I was kind of like balancing between running Blasphemy with what's it called, vulnerability, and using the vulnerability flask. Where is it? This one, the one that looks like I don't know, Witchfire Brew. This one was good too, but then it only scales your dot, and this one scales your bleed, poison, and your dot, because it does more melee fizz damage, and the more fizz is more poison, and it's more chaos from the Atziri's Promise. So all around, I think Lion's Roar is way better, and then like knocks away the people too, or the mobs too, so that they bleed for more damage. So yeah, you can use a Silver Flask, you can use a Basalt Flask, I think. Where is it? Basalt Flask. Yeah, Basalt Flask. And Diamond Flask, you can even switch out Diamond Flask for a Basalt Flask, but I'm just trying to push clear speed because I'm only running T11 strands most of the time, and like mesas just to get my strands going once again. So it's not that bad. You can really decide. These last two are mostly for the bleed and freeze immunity. Unfortunately, you can't get the curse immunity unless if you're using a Kiara's, which I really hate Kiara's because the duration on it is so shitty. Other than that, that pretty much sums up the build. I'll probably link a timestamp because I hate it when people just explain their build and they don't play it and show some gameplay. So I'll show you guys some quick gameplay, and then I'll link this time too, just so that you guys don't have to. Oh wait, let me show you guys the AoE without the Dying Sun. So here's the AoE without the Dying Sun. It's playable, right? Oh, that might be a little loud. It's playable, but like once you put the Dying Sun on, it literally like hits half the screen. Like you might not see it because you're not the one playing it, but if you actually play the build and try it out, you'll see a noticeable difference. And like, whoa, shit. You'll see a noticeable difference in the AoE. I'll just leave the loot behind because it's not that important right now, unless if, like something crazy drops. Yeah, hopefully I don't die too. Fuck. So that's basically it for the build, though. Here, yeah, just watch the gameplay. I don't think I can explain more. It's pretty. The single target's amazing. The clear is it's not as like Vol Spark fast, but like 99% of the skills in this game aren't Vol Spark fast, so it's probably higher than average. I guess projectile builds are OP as fuck because they didn't take any AoE hits, but you know, melee, any area spells, we all took huge hits on our clear speed just because our oh shit, just because our AoE is so much slower. It's very hard for me to talk and play also, so I might not be clearing this map as effectively as I could, but I'm already at 39 monsters remain, and the boss takes like 5 seconds to kill. So, and then I just use the portal skill. Yeah, so that's basically it. Thanks for watching up until this point. If you have, make sure to subscribe if you haven't, and I'll try to get more content out if I can, but I really want to push a character to 100, and but like I always just lose the will to at around like 90s, like like low 90s, not even mid 90s, because it's just so much of a grind. Like I think like 30 strand maps only takes you to 50% at this level, so like I'm thinking like it's gonna be insane. Well, the video is long enough already. I'll leave timestamps. It's long because I actually played this character through for a very long time, and I just wanted you guys to know my experience with it. I'll put timestamps, yeah, for sure. Thank you for watching, and bye.